This is the moment I wanted to quit bonsai. There's a lot that frustrates me about trying to do bonsai in my current life in Korea, but having to repot indoors would be at the top. It's messy and dirty and actually unpleasant, and doing bonsai shouldn't be unpleasant. I can't throw dirt around my landlord's roof. I suppose I could drag all my soils and plants and tools downstairs and do it outside, filming myself while curious Koreans walk past, but that doesn't appeal either. So I do it here and clean up afterwards, and akadama dust mixes with the other dusts in my apartment, the dead skin and the microplastics and the yellow dust that comes from China every spring. It's an accumulation that covers everything and that I need to clean away. This is the story of a couple of zelkovas that I decided to grow on my windowsill. What killed my bonsai? Asks the new bonsai hobbyist. Did I over or underwater, fertilize too much or not enough? Was it a pest, a fungus? Do I just have a brown thumb? And the answer is you didn't water it. You forgot about it for a couple of days, the pot dried out and the tree died. 9 times out of 10 anyway, that's the answer. The other 1 time out of 10, the answer is you tried to grow an outdoor tree indoors. And strictly speaking, they're all outdoor trees. No tree ever evolved to grow in a living room. There are some species that evolved to grow in the understory or on jungle floors, and some of those can be kept indoors, but even they probably don't love it. So why am I growing these bonsai on my windowsill? Here's a quiz. What plant is this? It likes moist, well-drained soil. It grows best in a protected position in your yard, and it favors morning sun. And if your answer was every plant I've ever bought, then you're correct. I sometimes wonder if somewhere in this world there's a yard that's just completely bare grass and someone's crammed 600 plants into one corner. We'd all like perfect environments. I think Zachary Growing grows best with billionaire parents who own multiple private islands. Instead, I got 2 flawed human beings who loved me and did their best. Few of us have perfect environments. It doesn't mean we can't grow. Every day I ask myself, should I stay or should I go? There are good reasons for both. So I ask the universe for answers to give me signs, and the signs are all pointing in one direction. But I haven't made a decision yet. I have no belief in the supernatural, but I believe in signs. Tarot cards can't predict anything about the future, but the stories your mind makes when you see the pictures can reveal a lot. For now, I'm trying to get my bonsai into shape so that if I leave, I might give them as a gift, and the person I give them to would be happy to receive them and not puzzled by an ugly piece of growing on material. So there's no more time for thickening trunks or growing out branches. It's time to get them into pots and make them look as much like a small tree as I can. But it's not like I know a large circle of bonsai hobbyists, and most people in Korea live in small apartments. A bonsai that can be grown indoors would be best for most people I know. Can you grow a Zelkova bonsai indoors? I know Chinese elms can be grown indoors. The internet is divided on indoor Zelkovas, so I decided to give it a shot. As a deciduous tree, I guess that they probably need to go outside in the autumn. But maybe once the weather is cooler, they could fend for themselves over winter. It doesn't really matter. Give a bonsai tree to a non-bonsai person and they'll probably kill it pretty quickly. They'll forget to water it for a few days and it'll die. It would be nice to believe that people would grow it forever and remember me every time they look at it, but it's probably not going to happen. From my experience, the worst thing is this. They'll be awkward about talking to you afterwards because they don't want to tell you that they killed your tree. Not that I'd mind, but anyway, I hope that the gesture might be appreciated. I've talked a lot about the difficulties I've had with growing trees on a concrete rooftop, how they bake in summer, how I can't keep Japanese maples, how I can't keep anything in a small pot. And some people have made very sensible suggestions, and I've ignored them all. Why? I think it's because this rooftop just doesn't feel like my place. It feels distant from me. In 2020 in Daegu, I grew bonsai on an almost identical rooftop and they did fine. But that was Daegu in 2020. I gave them a lot of attention because there was nothing else to do. I used to sit by them and look at them. It also made a difference that I lived on the top floor there. I was physically closer to them and that made a psychological difference. All those complaints about the difficulties I've had with my rooftop garden, you could rephrase it. Like 90% of bonsai, my trees died because I didn't water them when they needed it. But maybe it's not just new bonsai hobbyists who kill trees like that. Here's the thing. Since I've started keeping them here, these trees have done amazingly well. My windowsill is sunny, and with the window open, it's almost outdoors. More importantly, they get watered and fertilized exactly when they need it. I've managed to repot them and give them multiple cutbacks already this season. They might not be masterpieces, but I hope that by the end of the growing season they will at least resemble small trees, enough to be given as a gift. They're even helping my trees upstairs by reminding me of their existence on days when I come home tired and watering my bonsai isn't at the top of my mind. I'm not telling you to grow outdoor bonsai inside. I'm really not saying that. If you do, it's on you. What I'm saying is this. It's important to see your bonsai. It makes a difference to feel close to them. So put your bonsai where you are. But I'm left with one question as I look out from Korea, vaguely in the direction of Australia, from one imperfect environment to another. It's a question that sounds similar, but is not the same. Should I put myself where my bonsai are?